Latvians, visiting Lithuania, Agnese Vanaga and Anna Vaivare. And I have actually asked for 2 separate presentations, and I received, and we have 2 separate presentations because, as I said in blog, we do that. And sometimes the writer is even amazed of what happened, why didn't you tell me, when reads what illustrator answered, and vice versa. Now we'll see if you will say something new to each other or not. But we're going to talk about the behind the scenes of making a book in Lithuanian. It's called Širdukai. In English you said that it's heart to heart. And this time we have both writer and illustrator. But we're starting with Agnese. And one quite intimate picture of the creative process of the book. So the idea of the book and its connection with this image, please tell us.
I met Anna, illustrator, when we were together in a children's festival in Iceland, Mirin. It was
2021.
Yes, it was 4 years ago. And in this festival, mainly adults were talking how to talk with the kids through the books about those great problems that they encounter or that we see in everyday life. So, and I thought, oh, this should be easy. We should pick some very plain character, like really cliche, like heart, and they just talk to each other about all big problems in a very simple way. And I think when I met Anna, we both are very different, and I get the kind of conclusion that the idea is good, and I told the idea to Anna, and she immediately rejected because she is totally different character, and then I get the official approval that yes, idea is good.
Okay. And those images.
Yes, the idea was that the characters are very easy to know, easy to understand, and the idea came when I saw. Idea came in Iceland, and then I saw the graffiti artists in Latvia, in Riga, a few of those hearts in different places, and I kept them sewing, and I sent them to Anna, and she told me, no, this is too cliche, we can't draw hearts speaking each other. That is nonsense. We should pick something more abstract. And I was like, no, can we stick to the hearts? So, and then Anna agreed, and I think the outcome is really beautiful and really heartwarming.
And you took those photos by yourself?
Yes, I took them by myself, and I sent them to Anna, and I stored them in my idea map, idea file in my phone to just for inspiration. Yes. Yes, about the characters, where I get the inspiration from.
Yeah, because pictures tell so much, and at the same time I'm not sure which part of the question could it answer. So yes, let's talk about the characters, although we already talked about the characters, talking about the idea of the book, but I see that one small character here, and also the bigger one is also a kid, right?
I tried not to put faces because they now have grown up and they don't want to be seen in
Lithuania.
In Lithuania, especially in Lithuania, between Lithuanian friends. So I have 3 kids, and all those episodes that are in the book are somehow based on the adventures or the disagreements or the big ideas kids have come to me and told me. So inspiration mainly have come from mine or from my friend kids, and living with the 3 kids books all day, and even a summer vacation, I think you can write a lot of books and with a lot of ideas, and your house will never be clean, your house will never be in order, but you will have a lot of ideas.
I think you can come up with a lot of ideas,
Yes.
but it might be really hard to write
Down,
those
yes.
ideas down.
I'm using voice messages, and sometimes I'm writing it on a phone, but sometimes I forgot what I've written also.
Should we know those exact situations, what was happening here, and if it transformed in any story of the book?
And I think the behind the scenes is, I thought it looks always so beautiful. For example, this one with the toilet paper. And I think the toilet paper is one of the underestimated toys in a childhood. So if you want to give kids plenty of time to do something, give them a lot of rolls of toilet paper. And actually the second image with those white circles are a good example how Ola talked about the boredom, that kids lack boredom in childhood, and I totally agree with that. And I think this is our, as parents, as an adult, responsibility to give them boredom. And the game they came up with is totally a result of how strict their mom is. Just they don't have screens, they don't have phones, and we don't have TV, so they need to come up with something to do.
And they came up with their own game.
Yeah. I think very simple rules. No images, just white circles.
And so, but you said you met in Iceland in 2021, and it was during the current pandemics or after?
Shortly after.
Shortly after, right? And so you were not like writing and coming up with ideas during the pandemics. It was, I think, full of situations with
during
kids.
pandemic. Yes, definitely. I think the book writing process was very, very organic. I just wrote down ideas. As you see, that those episodes are quite short. They're like one spread. So mainly those are really written sometimes in a car, sometimes in a park, sometimes when I'm dining and they're asking who is stronger, who is more, who has more force, fork or spoon. So
I remember that
yeah,
story.
so I was really like shocked with this question. I was so, and I do love those conversations because they're very pure and clean and coming out of their own imagination, of their own fantasy world.
Yeah, and that I think illustrates some more situations.
This is like the heart he's eating now. Yes, this illustrates how different characters they are, and can you imagine that you have so different character, but you need to live together in a quite small family, in small room or in small house, and one is super active, other one is very small still, and they need to find their language together, and they need to find solve arguments. They have like every day, I guess, a lot of arguments. So, and I'm just trying to watch and not to interrupt them. I try to encourage them to find their own solutions.
Okay, so I think you skipped the surroundings part, but we will talk maybe
Anna
about
will
Anna.
answer surroundings. About surroundings.
Yeah. Okay, so creative process. Now, please.
What do you think? What's happening there?
Here,
Fashion show.
maybe a theater play happening outdoors.
Actually, my favorite game when I was a kid was dressing up using my mom's clothes, and I haven't said it to my kids, never ever to do it. And one day I was so shocked, I was just laying down on a blanket, just having evening sun bath without sun, and I saw them dressing up in my clothes, and I was so shocked that this creative process is somehow inherited through the generation without saying or play this game or come up with this idea. No, they did themselves. They found my closet, they opened up, they lost my earrings, and did a lot of bad things through this creative process, but they came up with a great idea how to spend an evening.
Did that go to the book?
Yes.
I think.
Yes, also in the book there is an episode when they're playing changing.
Yes.
They're playing dead and
Episode which I didn't like. And
yeah.
I told that I didn't like and wanted to skip from the book, but the editor liked it, so it's like.
Why didn't you like it? Please be
it's the same about cliches. That I thought it's a bit stereotypical. That and the mom dresses like in dress, and dad with a tie. Like who wears ties anymore?
Yeah.
So
There's
so there is no tie. There's a shirt in the book, and there is a dress. So
And you always skip that part, like
I skipped the
partially.
part with the tie.
Okay, so and we have some other examples of your and your kids' creative processes, right?
Yes, I think the whole in the evening when you go through the whole home, you can see how they've been creative in all rooms. One day I really was shocked because my kid told me, "Mom, I was very, very careful." And I'm listening to the sentence, I'm like, what did you do? And he said, "I was very, very careful. Don't worry." And I was with what you were careful? With the matches. And I was like, okay, let's see. And actually he was very careful. This is the second scene, but the scene I didn't make a photo because I was quite shocked. But he made a fireplace in my bedroom, in my bed. He made real like with the sticks, and he drew a fire with the on a page, and actually he did also those real matches, and everything went well. But when you go through the home in the evening, you can see a lot of creative those spots when they come up with the games. And in this book, there are a lot of episodes where the characters came up with the games, and mostly those games are games that my kids are playing. And this was in the evening. You asked me to send pictures, and I was like, no, I can't go to answer your email because I need to clean house. And this was one of the scenes when the whole bathroom was in the water because they put the thing in a sink and make a little flood and with those marbles and ships in my bathroom.
Okay, so is this pictures from like few weeks ago?
No, a few weeks, like few days.
Few days.
Few days.
ago. Ah, because you sent me.
So it will be in the next book.
And this image is about your creative process, right?
Yes. I wish I could have more sleep. So this is those empty cups of coffees I have, and this is my computer. I usually do my work in computer, as I mentioned, and in my phone as a voice notes, or I'm writing down in the notes. I think I'm using less pen and some notebook because it's not so convenient, and I'm forgetting what I've written down notes. So actually, notes is the best tool for me.
And okay. As I was preparing only to talk about this exact book, I have to ask you, have you written books with long stories, like storybooks, or it's usually the picture book? I'm really bad about this question because I should have prepared. I really know your name very well, but because as I am listening, I think that short notes is all what you can take while living with those three creative kids at home.
Actually, my second or my first superpower is the ability to knock out my hearing, which is not useful when you're living with the adults. But if you're living with the kids, it's really like superpower. So sometimes, yes, I just knock them out, and I'm sitting on my computer and writing a book. Yes, I have longer books. Plastikinė actually.
Yes, translated
in Lithuanian. So I'm writing also long stories, and of course it takes more time, and it's not always like maybe I have drawn the image of creative chaos every day. Still, kids go to school, to kindergarten, and I have my own time. But it always when I'm even in my own time. And then sometimes prepared to do something like serious stuff, and I found out, oh, there's shit in my sink, or there is like 2,000 of those memos on my desk. So it's always living inside the creative process that is driven by kids.
Do you have like your creative routine, like you try to sit down and write for an hour, for example, at least when the kids are at school or at kindergarten, or you never know if you are going to write this week or maybe next week every day, but this week non-writing?
Actually, I have taken now a year without writing because I started to study in a university as a teacher, and I worked in a school as a practicing language and literature teacher, so I put down writing at all. But before that, and now in the summer, I usually I'm doing my early morning routine when I woke up really early before all family, so it's like 5 or 6 a.m. and then I'm writing, and then I write another 1 or 2 years, 2 years of 2 hours after breakfast. So I think it's short period of time, like, but it's not like whole like 6 hours of writing. Never ever I could do that. Even I think it's boring to sit down and write for 6 hours,
or even impossible.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and here we see your workspace. Is it at home? This
yes, it's my desk. It is at home. I have maybe not very comfortable writing room because I have it together with the bedroom. So when I'm sitting at my desk, I'm looking to the bed. So usually I'm like, what I'm doing here? Let's go to bed.
And is this photo taken while working on this book or not?
No, I guess this is a photo taken when I'm just putting down ideas or putting a plan for my work.
Okay.
And this is my dog, who usually more helps than disturbs because he loves to sleep while I'm working. And besides my down near my legs.
Also a young one.
He's here as a puppy, and I put him on a memo. Just don't disturb, as you put it on hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So I came up with the idea that he also feels like, please do not disturb. I'm sleeping. And this is a crown. On my knees, yes. It's also maybe just a start for a new story because a month ago, one crow baby I found in my garden, and I think this is also shows how different are my writing environment. Not only kids, not only dogs, but also crows from my garden sometimes are in my lap and we're writing together. And I'm trying not to be distracted.
Still trying not to be distracted?
Yes, still.
And did you have any real struggles with those stories? Did you take something out? Or did you feel, I don't know, for myself, usually in the middle of the book, I feel that nothing's gonna come out of this. And I already know that it will all end quite well, but still, at that moment, I feel helpless. That what am I doing? I can't write. I can't finish this book. Of course, it's easier with the short stories because you can take something out, put something in. Was it hard for you, or with this book, it was really easy and only fun?
It was quite easy because those really are short stories. But I remember the moment when it went through the editor, and the editor was quite harsh, and she took away, I don't know, maybe 10 stories from all. And I was like, oof, we're lacking now 10 stories because I wrote more than we needed. But she took, like said, those are not good for the book. And then I felt, oof, now I need to write another 10. Is it possible or no? So it was I remember the sense oh, maybe I don't need this book because it will ask me a lot of more and more power. Maybe at the moment I didn't have it. So, but I remember I guess also worked with the illustrator and conversations, and somehow I found the inspiration to write another 10, and they were accepted, they were good, and it's always like that. I think the more effort you put in it, the better it is. Even if at the moment you don't want to work anymore on it. It's finished book in my point of view, and I know, and somehow I don't agree with the editor, but I'm accepting the opinion and trying to improve it.
And so how long did it take for you to write all the stories and then to add those 10 more stories?
I think it was very, very easy to write the stories, but the adding, I think, took a little bit more time as writing originally those stories. But overall, the idea came up in 2021, and the book was published in 2023 with the illustrations. So I guess 2 years for a book is
normal.
It's a very short time period. Yeah.
That short, but yeah,
if you're
acceptable.
Acceptable. Even there includes also illustrations.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so we are finished with
Yes.
your part. And how many stories do we have in a book?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I think 24.
Oh, really? 24. So 10 stories means half of the book.
Approximately, yes.
And now,
The editor was quite strict.
yeah,
I would say.
And Anna too was quite strict
Yes,
too.
I was also quite strict. But I really enjoyed working with Agnes. Because usually I worked on picture books, and then I just get the texts, and I have my whole freedom, and I just illustrate, and then just at the end the writer is very happy with the illustrations. But in this case, we really had to work together, and I really enjoyed the process.
Tab's also very happy, no? You said that always authors are very happy.
Yeah,
but in this case, it was different.
No. Not in that sense.
we didn't have your photo from childhood. So as we now are starting Anna's
I'm in childhood.
presentation, you are in childhood, in free childhood at the moment. So if you have to add something from your childhood, what kind of child?
Actually, I forgot to add the picture, but my mom really loved to make photos, and she made a photo of me fighting with my brother with the very long sticks, like real argument photo, and I really enjoyed the moment, and I remember myself in it that we were fighting a lot, and but this is the same. I think it repeats in every generation, and now I look at we are really good friends. But then again, in childhood, it was kind of so harsh fight.
And what about you? Now we can see you here, I don't know,
With a book.
with a book and a toy.
And a bear. So I really like to read. I was a quiet kid and like the best student in class and always did everything right, and I was a perfectionist and quiet. I liked drawing and reading. So
You're a perfect child. Not fighting with the sticks.
just with my sisters sometimes. So it's me with the book, and it's a bear toy which I got when I was born, but then I got to know that actually it was my sister's toy when she was born, but she was 2 years older, so when I was born she swapped toys because the one that I actually got was bigger, so I got her toy. So this is my toy is 2 years older than I am because it was originally my sister's toy. But I couldn't argue with her because I was just a baby.
Maybe. But you had
That's my family dynamics.
So I think that this book was also useful for you to illustrate because you know from your own
I think
experience.
everyone knows.
Yeah. What this picture
Oh,
has with the idea?
This is actually how Agnese presented it to me. That she got this. I will not repeat the story about Iceland, and we met in Iceland. And Agnese said that she got an idea about these two characters, their hearts. You remember this chewing gums that we got in childhood with these, I don't know how you call it, but the comics about love is about the heart characters. Yes, at first I wanted to avoid it because I thought,
Actually, I forgot about those. Now I remember it. This is my picture or no?
No, it's my picture. Recent picture actually. Yes. So I don't remember the hearts on the walls that you showed, but I remember
Yes,
this one.
because in the moment when when I was thinking about the book, you see a lot of signs which lead you to the right idea, and I thought this is leading me to, but I forgot about those. I meant to mention those gums. Good. I remember only graffiti because I saw them recently too.
So I wanted to avoid it, and I thought, maybe they could be not hearts, but maybe some abstract. Because I also didn't want them to be animals, because so often in children's book, kids are presented as animals, and that's maybe something wrong about it. And but I didn't want to draw hearts. So maybe it could be shapes or something. But Agnese was very persistent with her idea, and then I thought, okay, I will take it as a challenge. I will draw hearts, but make them not so cliché, not so what you think when the first thing that you draw hearts. And that's maybe, it's not. Maybe you can switch with the process.
Or with the
This one. So this is the characters. Search for characters. I thought maybe, what makes those hearts so cliché? They're pink and heart-shaped. Maybe they can look more like bumps and they can be other color. So I tried blue and green, but they looked kind of ill.
or dead.
So lonely. So I stayed with pink and red, but one heart is big and hairy, not too. And I wanted to make them very different characters, so you can distinct.
Hairy heart is something
Hairy
that should be itching.
No, it's soft.
Or soft. About the style, you added some very different examples of the way you illustrate, I think. Maybe you can shortly tell how...
I can start with the first one.
Yes.
So the question was if my style has changed since
Yes.
the beginning of my career. So the long story short, my first profession is an architect. I was working in an architect's office as an architect, and then I encountered this comic magazine, Kush, and I started drawing comics for this magazine, and I got really excited that something that I draw is being published. But this is it's an indie comic magazine, and I could really just experiment, and in every issue that I participated, I could try different materials and different style, and like I didn't have a certain style, so I tried a lot of things, and this is just two of them. I used watercolors because I liked them at that time, and then the next one. And then children's publishing house Lies un Mas noticed me from this Kush magazine and invited me to illustrate the first book. And then I really started to think, and because I also had to make sketches in what style the book will be. And then I thought, I felt like watercolors didn't look so bold or bright. And then I took gouache, and I have stuck to gouache since then. And now I just added more, lately more materials. I use color pencils and pastels and a lot of things. But this hard book particularly is bit different from all my other books, because usually they are like the previous one, like this one, with a lot of detail and like paintings, but because this was a comic, and maybe also because it's so the situation was that I had just finished a book about architecture project, a picture book about building a house, and it was every spread was like isometric drawing a house with a lot of details, and it took so long. It was so much work, and I just really wanted to do something very simple, and I was so happy. And my next project in line was about orchestra, another one with a lot of details. So I was so happy about this project, and I really wanted to do something different and something simple, and also because it's a comic and there are repetitive images, I had to find materials that, so usually it's gouache, I mix colors. But now, if there are several pictures that have like hearts, they always have to look the same. I had to find materials that I can easily use, and then that wouldn't take that much time, always mixing the right pink. So I used markers and pencils and ink, because it always stayed the same tone. So it's a bit different than my other books.
But still analog way.
Yes, it's always analog. Yeah, I hate computers.
Okay. About the setting, I just wanted to ask if, for example, this exact image, did you have any exact room in mind drawing it, or you just used the objects you like most to have in the picture of the room?
No, it's not exact room, and actually there are really little settings in the book. Mostly it's like
ground.
It's just panel where they are standing and just some objects. It's an exceptional spread where there's so much background.
But it's not your room in this exceptional.
It's maybe it's room.
Yeah, because when I was drawing, when I was writing text, I think I wrote you also the description how it would look like about those socks hanging and etc. etc. So it's kind of mix between text of something I wrote and something Anna imagined, and I think somehow when I saw the picture of this chaos in a room, I was like, yes, this is exactly how I feel when I enter a kid's room.
Yes, there was. So what I got from Agnese first was dialogues, and then some descriptions of how she imagined it, and some in some episodes I took it into account and I used it, and in some I imagined something else, and
How do you feel when you get the text together with the comments how the illustration could look like? Is it annoying or is it helping? And was it hard not to keep those in mind? In this case, sometimes you didn't keep it in mind.
I can remember times when it's annoying, but maybe not with this book. Actually, it's so long ago. It feels like it was so long ago that I don't remember the process at all. But I can remember the feeling when it's annoying, really, when the author writes how it should look. But I don't remember it in this case. I think it was just suggestions.
Yes, I think it's always like suggestions more than obligation to fill. It's more like part of the text I wrote. So I add the comments how I imagine it. So it doesn't. And sometimes I remember the situation when you send me the episode and it's drawn, and I said, oh, it looks the other way that I imagined. But I really like that you draw it another way.
That's really great. When the writer accepts it and the illustrator accepts, vice versa, there's some comments that might be useful sometimes or not.
Yeah, it was, I think.
And here we can see how you were drawing it.
Yes.
With pencils and...
I use a light table and I really like analog techniques. I only use computer for retouching and scan and do some editing.
Oh, so it's a light
That's
table?
light table.
And you have the sketch underneath, or the pencil?
No, I have to remember. So I think, how I usually do it. I do a rough sketch on paper, then I take a picture, put it in Photoshop, and then I adjust it. Then I print it out, because it's easier to change things on computer. Then I print it out, the right size. I usually make illustrations bigger than they are in the book. So, and then I put it on a light table and then I color it on the...
Thank you for sharing that. These things are most, I think, useful.
That's really behind the scenes.
That's really behind the
and
scenes.
This is like my it's in my countryside. I take sometimes things and work in my countryside. It's my residence.
Oh.
Artist residence.
Artist residence, okay. And quite a big table to take with you.
No. The light table.
Yeah.
It fits in the car. It's not that big.
And you were the one doing the toy parts?
Unfortunately, we don't have them here because they're in suitcases in the other house. And we don't have a picture of them.
No, we have a picture.
Oh yeah, we have the picture. Oh, nice.
So hairy, soft and itchy heart and
I made it for the book opening. I felt like we could play with them like a little theater, and since then always they've been really useful and nice to play with.
So do you like also sewing things and characters, or it was just necessary for...
No, it was my intention. No, I like sewing. Yes, I'm just happy that I could do it.
And was it hard to decide how the hairy heart is made? Today I was looking at this heart and thought, and then I checked the way it is drawn, and was it a headache to decide, or you knew?
No, it's a pleasure. The process I really enjoyed.
You put every.
Yes. It was longer. It was longer than I thought.
Yeah.
It should take.
Okay, now this heart is really valuable, I think, for the time and effort you put in it.
Yeah, okay. Some people have said, I would like to have toys like this, and then we calculated how much it would cost, and okay, it's not really for much.
300 euros.
Yeah, like a toy for 300 euros.
Those are, I think, the first sketches.
Oh yeah. Because there was a question if I redrew or changed a lot. So usually I'm I don't know, I'm too lazy, or I do everything last minute, so I don't have time to redraw pages. So, and also in this book, it's really almost as it's. So this is the first. On the right, it's the first tryout of what materials I would use and how it should look, and then on the left is just a sketch on a computer for the colors, and it's very similar in the book. It stayed really as it was at the beginning. And that's another book in the picture, but that's how it works. It's my previous studio, how it looked.
Yeah.
And I was working in
your previous studio
and this is my current studio. Yes.
Is your studio close to your house, home?
Yes, it's 5-minute walk. It's too close.
Too close.
My previous studio was 15 minutes, and it was better. Longer walk.
Okay, and so here we have something. I think I remember seeing you in Sigulda Festival having a presentation of this book with those two hearts. So, and the last picture, book signing. So the last question is the same for both of you as it was for Ola. How does it feel now after all what you've experienced with this book? Are you, I don't know, ashamed of some parts of the book, or are you satisfied? And what do you think? How much feedback did you get from the kids and parents and so on?
So at least for me, it's been the best-selling book of all the books I made. I've participated made, and I'm really happy with it. Now I'm thinking, what's wrong with hearts? Why didn't I want to draw hearts? It's so nice. And now we're thinking about sequel, the second part.
I have a few thoughts regarding the book. First one is that we had an argument with the editor and also with Anna about are they males or females? Because I wrote them as males, and eventually editor corrected all to females. I was like, what? Because it in Latvian is a female object, but somehow I felt that those are like two rascals, two boys, and it didn't felt like a females. But then I accepted them as a females, and the thing I'm really still in a doubt is that we don't have names for them in the book, because the names I suggested didn't fit somehow. I didn't like them myself, so the first spread in the book are the spread that kids decide what names would be for the characters. And it's really nice when I'm doing workshops, so I usually start with the kids asking the names, they come up with the names, and I'm telling the stories through their names. So in a workshop it works really well, but for myself I still feel that maybe I should have come up with the names. And I'm not sure is it good decision to not put the names for characters. I have accepted that those are females, this is okay I think, but about those names I'm not still sure. But then again, when I think about second book, I'm like, they will not have names in second book again.
Or it can start with the story, how they got names somehow.
It just was too late in the process. Agnes realized, but they need names, but we had already got used to heart 1 and heart 2 in the text.
Yeah,
so it was so hard but how are they called? And they have to be neutral. So that's true that in Latin language, heart is female. So it sounds weird and it just mix in the head if you name them.
But
it could be neutral, like something that ends with O, and then it can be female or male. But yeah, we tried, but we couldn't agree on any names.
But when in workshops I'm asking kids to give names, usually it's not always.
It's not always female.
They are giving both equally, both boys and girls names. They are not feeling it, and I'm always yes, this is the same for me. They're not only girls. They can be both characters. So, and of course, when you are talking with each other in the manuscript, when I send it in. You are not talking like, hey, Katarina, we are just talking with you, I'm not using your name. So in dialogues, it's okay, they don't have names, but when you are retelling story or when you're reading aloud, you need those names. And for a parent, I think it is challenging because he's like, heart, the fluffy one tells, the heart, the little one tells. So I think that I don't know how parents are reading this book. But when I'm reading aloud, I'm always before asking to come up with the names because I need to use those names.
And then you use them. Okay, do we have any questions to close our talk tonight?
I remember on radio.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the radio.
It was so funny because we had an interview about the genders and in the radio and the live interview and after that the journalist revealed that there was one question. There was a lot of questions, but one was question about those genders that we are again mixing those genders and why can't we stick to normal like female and male? How can we put the characters without names, without genders? Where are we living in? What kind of world? It was funny.
You are the authors of the...
Yeah. And it was just not the point. We were just mentioning that, they don't really have names. They're not boy or girl, it's just characters. And then someone commented that, that was funny.
Again,
you are doing this.
Yes.
But that's really sweet about this book, that those characters don't have genders, and it's easier to read. I have a daughter and a son, and for them both it was characters about them, and I think they gave names. The boy gave boy's name. Usually they are doing like that, and girl gave girly name for the heart. And I love it. That it sometimes it just doesn't matter, especially in kids' books.
But in Lithuanian language, is there ending of other words that, like, there has to be a gender?
Yes, there has to be a gender in Lithuanian, and the title of the book has širdis is a female. And but it's translated like širdukai, which means male hearts. Not male hearts sounds really strange, but you understand it's like male-ish title. But because we do that when you want to say to change word name, sometimes you say it for a girl in boyish manner. I don't know why it sounds just lovely. Or cute. So it's the same with the hearts. Do you have the same in Latvian?
I think no, but I can get the idea easily that this is what the publisher. We had a lot of talk about the title and how to translate it. When I heard it širdukai, somehow I don't know. Yes, it sounds very good.
It really does.
And I also asked you, like, if these are girls or boys, is it okay to make them boys because you don't look like girls?
Yeah.
And we want to be fathers, policemen, maybe not very boyish. So we kind of invented this word. It's not a real word.
But it's used a little bit.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. Okay, thank you so much for both of you sharing all those things and showing us a picture from the Iceland and telling how you draw the illustrations. I hope that some of the things will be even practical knowledge for the listeners and viewers of our talk. And now we can end this evening together with the coffee.